And so, we're back once again to talk about Hoshi Ori. So in the last episode, we talked about a little bit about the Perfect Edition, a little bit about the vocal collection, but the main attraction was Rika's root. And what's there to say about Rika's root? It was literal perfection. I absolutely adored it, and it was just simply beautiful. And you already know that Rika is my favorite character in Hoshi Ori. So, let's go on with the next root, shall we? For this episode, we're going to be taking a look at Marika's root. But before we take a look at Marika's root, let's take a look at this. This is the physical copy of Hoshi Ori Yume Mirai Converted Edition, which was released in Japan on September 14, 2017 for the PlayStation 4 and PS Vita. The case is reminiscent of the original PC release, and look at this disc! What an extremely pretty looking disc! Like I said before, in the original Hoshi Ori review, it is just the original game, but with new content and without the 18+ content. Even without the sexy content, it's still a great piece of Hoshi Ori to own. Also, I like to point out a mistake I made in the Perfect Edition plus Rika's root video. Originally, I said that the extra after story parts for Rika's and Toko's story was only for the Perfect Edition. Well, you'll also get the extra after story parts for the Converted Edition as well, so I apologize for that mistake. Anyways, with that out of the way, let's take a look at the next root in Hoshi Ori. Let's take a look at the kind-hearted childhood friend, Marika Shinozaki. Ryosuke will first meet Marika after his visit to his new school. She stands outside his house, but as he gets closer, she's scared by his arrival and runs away. During his visit to the local pool, he'll notice Marika there teaching kids how to swim. As he's helping her with relaxing the kids by singing a song, he notices that both of them are singing the same song. And soon, they both remember each other as they both smile while remembering their childhood. The two continue to talk as Marika helps out with the kids. And it's here we learn that the two known each other ever since elementary school, and that Marika had an asthma problem since she was overwhelmingly frail in elementary. But she said she's been getting better and better as she gets older. She tells Ryosuke that she was hired as a part-timer for a swim class, due to her spending a lot of time in the class as well as her good teaching nature with kids. She also tells him that she knew he was coming back from her mom, but she was too nervous to say hi since she believes that Ryosuke doesn't remember her. The two continue to talk as Marika invites Ryosuke to dinner with her family as a way to welcome him back, although tensions rise due to Marika's father joining them, but Marika is there to calm him down. Here is where Ryosuke continues to see how different Marika is now. He's slowly starting to see that his childhood friend has changed in a lot of ways. She soon escorts him home, and before she leaves, she says to him, "Welcome home." We then enter a flashback scene where Ryosuke first meets Marika, where she saves her from an asthma attack and learns about the problems Marika is going through. So he decides to help her out with whatever he can do as he becomes her first friend. At many points in the common room, you'll continue to see flashbacks like this that detail the growing friendship between Marika and Ryosuke and how they became true friends. The next day, the two walk to school and Marika tells Ryosuke that she'll give him a tour of the school during their lunch break. Of course, Natsuki forcefully joins on the tour, but we also get introduced to Suichi, Ryosuke's other childhood friend who he met with Marika. The school day ends with Marika showing Ryosuke around town and letting him know of the upcoming Tanabata Festival that's coming up soon in August. And then another day, they look back at their work in elementary school where Marika finds one goal that she has still left to complete, helping out Ryosuke with any problem he's dealing with. Soon, an important flashback appears, detailing Ryosuke visiting Marika one last time before he leaves Shionagi. She's sad that he's leaving her, so to cheer her up, and with the upcoming meteor shower that's happening, she tells her to make wishes. And in the end, he didn't know which wish came true. Later on, both Ryosuke and Marika join the event committee to help out with the festival, and soon, the planned camping trip with the rest of the girls begins. You approach Marika to help her out as well as learning about how passionate she is in trying to make the food turn out good for the girls, as well as Ryosuke, well, making unintentional efforts to Marika. Soon, we finally start Marika's route. The beginning of the route revolves around Ryosuke and Marika helping out both Misa and Sora's clubs with creating a festival idea that combines both the sea and the skies, a planetarium mixed with an aquarium. The idea is given the green lit, and it's up to getting the idea into fruition. So, in order to set up the aquarium, Ryosuke, Marika, and Misa will catch some fish for the tanks. Of course, this leads to more interactions with Ryosuke and Marika, where you'll soon start to see Marika's feelings for Ryosuke. And as they arrive at the place to catch some fish, a pair of children arrive to help out with the three with catching fish, with Marika being the one to instruct them. As they continue to work for the festival, it's here where you start to see a pattern forming. Ryosuke, even after many years have passed, still thinks Marika as a frail person. You have to remember that he still thinks of her this way ever since he left his hometown. He didn't know what happened after that. So, for him, he still thinks Marika has problems with her health, even if Marika denies it. He becomes overprotective for her. The second day of catching more fish has arrived. As Misa ventures out to study more of the area, Ryosuke and Marika are left alone. Here is where you see a moment of peace between the two. But it's also where Ryosuke looks back at his childhood and his friendship with Marika, how the two never had this much fun due to Marika's health at the time. For Marika, all she wishes is for the festival to be a success and have a fun summer, along with other wishes that later turn out to be wishes that she never accomplished when she was little. She never visited the festival, nor watched a meteor shower when she was little due to her health problems. But now, she wants to accomplish those wishes. Ryosuke still doesn't believe that her asthma problems are gone, so he's still skeptical. He still thinks that she's a frail person. But Marika continues to tell him that she's okay, that there's no reason to worry. But Ryosuke still doesn't believe her, so most of the time, he's acting very overprotective for her, thus creating an awkward atmosphere for the two, as they wait for Misa to return. Later on, we get one final flashback. Ryosuke gets Marika a Tanzaku during the Tanabata festival to write wishes. He then takes a look at one wish that Marika made, and it made his heart froze. The wish that she made says, "I wish I could grow up." So for Ryosuke's last wish, he writes, "I wish for Shinozaki to become a healthy adult." And that's where the flashback ends. The third day of catching fish is here. Not a lot of fish are seen, so Misa and Ryosuke investigate another area of the ocean while Marika stays behind with the children. Here is where Misa confronts Ryosuke about his worries for Marika. She describes her view of their friendship as a deep bond, one that goes beyond just friendship. Ryosuke tells Misa that he still thinks Marika as the same like before when they were kids. He can't get that image out of his head. He's always worried for her. It's the reasons as to why he wants the festival to be perfect, to let go of his worries. They are then interrupted by something that's happening where Marika is. A girl fell into the ocean, and Ryosuke rushes to see if it was Marika, injuring himself in the process. However, it turns out that one of the children fell into the ocean and Marika saves her, ending Ryosuke's worries. But Ryosuke's injury from falling on the rocks worsens as it turns out that he fractured his bone. The next day, Ryosuke stays at home to recover from his injury while Marika takes care of him, leading to some cute moments, as Ryosuke recalls what happened the day before and tells her how she used to be before. Once again, Marika states that she's fine now, that her asthma is all better. Soon, Marika explains that swimming was how she was controlling her asthma, how it also got her more confident and more positive about things in general, a clear difference to when she was little. Marika knows that it's not guaranteed that it will happen again, but she'll bring it under control. The reason as she wanted to get better was because of Ryosuke, because she wanted to make good memories with him. That's why being with him like this is like a dream for Marika. Ryosuke soon realizes that she really has changed ever since they said goodbye when they were kids. She's gotten stronger and became much more positive. She's no longer the frail girl she was before. And so, he accepts it. But now, Ryosuke is soon starting to have feelings for Marika after that talk. And so, he invites Marika to hang out and have fun once they both finish exams. Soon, that day comes. Ryosuke's leg has gotten better and is now ready to have fun with Marika. They head to the beach as they continue to bond with each other, with Marika being happy that she can hang out wherever with Ryosuke instead of being stuck in her bed. But soon, Ryosuke finally decides what his feelings to Marika are, and before Marika can leave, Ryosuke stops her, and finally, he confesses to her that he likes her. Marika's reaction? She cries. Although Ryosuke thought at first she rejected him, but the tears were happy tears, since she was surprised. she soon reveals her feelings for him as well, saying that she had these feelings ever since they were kids. And the chapter ends with their first kiss. The following chapters of the school arc of Marika's route is basically wholesome, romantic, and cute moments between Ryosuke and Marika. Now happily a couple, you'll soon start to see how strong their love for each other is as they continue to support each other. How Ryosuke tries his best to be accepted by Marika's father, how they'll go on dates with each other, and of course, how they'll unleash their sweet love for each other. All the while, they prepare for the festival. In the final chapters of the school arc, the Tanabata festival is in full swing. After the success of their idea for the festival, Marika and Ryosuke relax as they enjoy the festival, with Marika doing a karaoke performance to the whole school, with Ryosuke finally letting go of the past Marika and focusing all on her present self. Soon, Ryosuke talks to Marika's father as he talks about his past, with Ryosuke learning that Marika was actually born in Tokyo and not Shionagi. Marika's father explains the difficulties they had with Marika's asthma, as well as why they moved to Shionagi, because the air was good and that they could have support from their families to help Marika. It's an emotional scene that showcases how supportive the family is with helping Marika have a good life. For her father, she's his only daughter, and he wants her to live a happy life. So, Ryosuke promises him that he will make her happy. The school arc ends with Ryosuke and Marika walking around and enjoying the festival. Then, the two talk about their future, how Ryosuke wants to continue working to be an architect, and Marika wanting to be a nursery school teacher. Finally, Ryosuke tells Marika that he wants us to always be together, with Marika happily asking the same thing. We now move on to Marika's after story. To basically summarize, it's similar to Rika's after story, most specifically the romantic parts. Ryosuke will be taking his exams to become a first-class architect, while Marika is now working as a preschool teacher. The whole after story is filled to the brim with wholesome romantic moments. Between Marika and Ryosuke, you'll see how their love will continue to grow strong as the days pass by, and how Marika will support Ryosuke as he slowly reaches his dream goal. It all leads up to their wedding, as you witness Marika's speech, one of the most emotional scenes in the entire visual novel, where Marika gives thanks to everyone that has supported her throughout her life, her friends, her family, and of course, Ryosuke. And most importantly, it all leads up to the birth of their child. The route officially ends with both Ryosuke and Marika looking up at the stars as they wait for the meteor shower to appear, along with their newborn daughter, who they both named Mirai. As the meteor shower begins, the couple, along with Mirai, make one last wish together, for the happy times to go on forever, while the ending song starts playing, that song being Song of Love. And that was Marika's route. So for me, she was the first route I read through, and I honestly can't think of a better way to begin this phenomenal visual novel than with her route. Her route was just pure, wholesome perfection. This route is how my love for Hoshi Ori first began. The best thing about this route is the story. It's a pure love story about two people reconnecting with each other after not being together for a long time, finally reuniting, and soon a fire will ignite in their hearts, as the two will soon fall in love with each other. This is a simple and overdone story, but it completely works in this scenario. Ryosuke will soon see how Marika has changed ever since he last saw her when he was young. She's no longer a fragile and weak girl from before. She's a strong and caring person who deeply cares about the well-being of her friends and Ryosuke. Change can happen, and sometimes that change might be better than you expected. But as you continue reading her story, there's this charm to it that simply makes you smile, laugh, and cry. It's a story that was extremely well executed. delivering a ton of cute scenes that were both wholesome and deeply emotional. During these scenes, Ryosuke will soon fall in love with Marika, allowing her wish to be granted, as she fell in love with him way before they met again. For these types of stories, you don't have to go all out and bring out something intense or heartbreaking. Sometimes the best thing to do is to deliver a cozy, slow-paced, and heartwarming romantic story. These stories are not only enjoyable, but can deliver an extremely satisfying payoff for the readers who choose to read these longer stories. I absolutely love Marika's character. She is such a wonderful character who is just so likable. She acts like a caring mother who only wants the best for her child, paying reference to her good handling with kids. She's not one of those childhood friends who is overly obsessed with trying to get the main character to like her, like Yukino from Hatsukoi or even Chiho from Princess Evangel. For her, it's up to Ryosuke to decide whether or not he's in love with Marika. And choosing another girl will not make Marika jealous, but she'll congratulate the girl who Ryosuke chose. She's already satisfied with seeing Ryosuke again. That alone makes her happy. She never gets extremely mad throughout the story. Her calm and peaceful attitude is what makes her, well, her. It's what tells us what kind of character she is. And to me, she's a caring and sweet person who only wants to see others be happy. She doesn't argue or yell. She tries to find the best solution in order to make someone happy once again. Ryosuke once again showcases how he is simply an amazing main character, how happy he is with reuniting with his childhood friend, but not only that, he genuinely cares about her. Even if he is stuck in the past and thinks that Marika is still frail or weak, he grows to understand that she isn't the same like before. People can change, and he will realize that soon in her route, and once he does, he fully accepts it. There was no drama at all in this route, which definitely fits the wholesome atmosphere of the route. Rika's route definitely made sense to have drama, but for Marika, she doesn't really need drama at all. Everything works great without it, as it's still executed in a very satisfying and calming way. It's one of the reasons why I like this route a lot, that it's nothing but pure wholesome moments. The vocal songs in Marika's route are outstanding. The song at the end of her school arc, To Your Town, was popping with its vibrant, colorful, and playful beat, showcasing her playful and caring personality, but her ending song, Song of Love, takes the crown as it's not only vibrant and beautiful, it's emotional, as it's a way to signify how far Ryosuke and Marika came since they reunited with one another, as well as showing the bright and wonderful future the two will have. Marika's VA, I'm sorry I pronounced this wrong, Kei Maeda, did a phenomenal job with capturing Marika's soft and kind-hearted personality, delivering such cute lines and playful banter throughout the entire route. You should also check out Maeda's other great roles in other VNs, like Rina from Furuaraba and surprisingly for me, Etika from Tokyo Necro. Marika Shinozaki is a wonderful character, from her calm and caring personality to her lighthearted, simple, and pure love story. She not only gave us a wonderful route about reuniting with a long-lost friend, but she also showcased that there was perfection to be found in her route. Not only delivering a good route, but a fantastic childhood friend route. This was the story of a strong, caring, likable, and adorable childhood friend who wanted to see people smile. While she was frail when she was a child, she grew to be a strong, caring person who waited for her childhood friend to return. And soon, her wish was granted as Ryosuke returned. And as the two continued to spend time with each other, the two held each other's hands like a couple until they formed into a ring, as well as giving birth to a child. That's the kind of story this is. Whether it's the romance, personality, or beautiful story, she was simply the perfect way to start my journey with Hoshi Ori, and I couldn't have asked for a better route to start off with. And so, we talked about Marika's route. I'm honestly so happy that I chose her route as the first route to read when I first got Hoshi Ori. It was just simply amazing. It not only showcased what I was getting myself into, but it also showcased the true romance aspects of the visual novel, while also showcasing the kind-hearted and wholesome moments of the visual novel. And honestly, I couldn't have asked for something better off to start. Her route was simply fantastic, and the finale was beautiful. It was simply beautiful. And like I said, I'm glad I chose her as the first route to read. And so, that's all for me. Tune in next episode as we talk about the outgoing and bouncy photographer, Natsuki. That's right. For the next episode, we're all focusing on Natsuki's story. Anyways, that being said, thank you so much for watching.